Hey guys, we're making brunch, so get in here, grab a plate, and grab a chair. We about to have some steak, potatoes, and eggs.
Some people call it love. You get like. Some people call it love. You get like. Some people call it love.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Cutting Up with Bae. Today we're about to make some breakfast potatoes. Now these potatoes don't have to be made during breakfast hours, but they are truly the best recipe. So I'm gonna start by parboiling my potatoes. As you can see, I'm using Yukon Gold potatoes. You can use regular white potatoes or you can use red potatoes. I boiled them for about 7 to 10 minutes, and while they're boiling, I'm gonna cut up some green bell pepper. I cut up a half of an onion, and I'm also gonna cut up some red bell pepper. After I cut these up, I'm just gonna sit them to the side till I'm ready for them. Now I'm just checking my potatoes. Potatoes are looking good and they're getting a little tender. So now I'm gonna take them and strain those. And while I'm straining those, I wanna take a moment to say hi to all my new followers. I haven't been online in the last couple weeks because I had surgery. I'm getting back into the swing of things. So I just wanna say, hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family, cousin. And of course, I could not go on without saying what's up to my existing cousins. I miss you guys. I hope you guys had a great holiday. And now it's time to pick up where we left off at. So we're going to add our potatoes to the butter. We're then going to add some garlic powder, some granulated onion. We're going to add a little bit of chicken bouillon, a little bit of pink salt. We're going to add some Italian seasoning along with some smoked paprika. And yes, I will leave all the information in that description box below. You got to go to the right-hand corner and click the little arrow that's pointing down, and that will open up the description box with all the information you need. Now, my husband, he likes a little spice with his food, so I added a little bit of red pepper flakes as well. So after you add all the seasonings that you like, we're going to mix the potatoes up. Make sure that they're thoroughly coated with all the seasonings. You don't want one potato less seasoned than the other. So now after we mix everything up, I cooked these for about maybe a minute or so, and then I created like a little pouch or pocket right in the middle. I like to do it like this because the potatoes generally need more heat and more time to cook if they're going to be golden brown. And if you put in your garlic too early, or if your pan is too hot, your garlic could burn. If you put in your vegetables like your onions and your bell peppers too soon, and if they're cut up really small, they could also kind of burn down or not, be aesthetic as you want them to be. So I kind of do it like this, and I love the result every time. There's plenty of times I've gone out to restaurants, whether it's in Atlanta or even a different city, and sometimes the potatoes are undercooked, but the vegetables, the bell peppers, etc., are perfect, or vice versa. The potatoes are perfect and the bell peppers and the veggies are burnt. So I kind of don't like that, and that's why I'm sharing this recipe with you guys, so we can all make the most perfect potatoes ever. So if you look at those peppers, you can tell that the heat has definitely been on them and they're starting to break down and get a little tender. You can still look at them and tell that they got a little crunch to them. So that's why we're just going to mix everything up, and we're going to cook these potatoes for a couple more minutes until everything is perfect. Okay? Now, I don't know about your household, but my household loves potatoes. My husband can eat potatoes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He loves French fries. He loves breakfast potatoes. And I'm not saying that he does eat them every day or for every meal, but I know him like the back of my hand. So if he was a bachelor, he would be potatoing it up. And don't come for my man in the comments because he is skinny. He is not fat. So don't even try it. So yeah, we're going to take these potatoes. We're going to put them out and plate them. They smell so good. And even though they are piping hot, it's taking all of my self-control to not grab me a fork and blow them off and eat them and burn my taste buds off. So before I give in to temptation and eat some of these delicious breakfast potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and make him some steak, and I'm also going to make some eggs. But first we're going to wash off our steaks. I have some thin ribeye steaks. Got them from the regular grocery store. The pack cost me about 15, no more than 20 bucks. This recipe is kind of cheap for as much food as it's producing. I have about 5 thin steaks here. We have about 5 servings of potatoes and eggs, and we was able to do this all under like 25 bucks. So If you guys are on a budget, it might seem like this is an expensive breakfast, but for 5 servings or for 5 people, that's really not that bad. As you guys can see, I use some Chef Bae Spicy Seasoning salt on my steaks. If you don't have my seasoning, feel free to use some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, anything that's your favorite that you know tastes good. And 2 of the steaks I made well done. The other 3 I made medium well. Honey child, my husband love his steaks burnt. I mean, he like them crispy, child. So don't come for me in these comments about them steaks. He like what he like. And if I want to stay married, as long as I want to stay married, I better make his steaks the way he want them. So we have our steaks done. We have our potatoes done. We scrambled some eggs. And of course, this is my favorite part. Plate it all up and make it look pretty. So since the steaks are so thin, I used 2 steaks for his plate. I'm going to take those fluffy eggs, add them onto the right of the steaks. I thought about adding some cheese, but we'll add some cheese for tomorrow's breakfast. I added just a little bit of pink salt on top of my eggs. I don't like to add the seasoning inside my eggs before I cook them. I don't know why, it just tastes better to me. So we're going to add a little bit of pepper as well. And then we're going to take those delicious breakfast potatoes and we're going to top it off with that. Of course, 1 scoop is never enough. So let's boat him up. And as simple as this recipe is, it is so good and it's going to keep him and the family full for hours. Protein on top of protein and some starch. You can't go wrong with that. Now, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, please do me a favor. Check me out. I have 2 pages. I have Chef Bae _, which is currently shadow banned, and I have the main Cutting Up with Bae page. So if we're not friends on there, let's connect. I also have a Facebook page. We're on the road to 400K cousins, so let's connect over there as well if we haven't already. And as you can see, this looks so good. I might steal me a little bite, I might not, but I ain't snitching on myself. So hit that like button, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome brunch, an awesome weekend, and I will catch up with you guys on the next video. Until next time, bye guys.